Do it again. Go, go, go. Go, go. Go that way. Go. How was that?
It was great.
You ready?
Uh-huh.
And we're back. Let's do it again. I think we could do better. And we're back. Hey, everybody. Or not hey, everybody. I learned that you're not supposed to say hey, everybody, because it's a less personal experience. So I'm talking to you. How you doing? I'm back. Actually, we are back in your ear holes. That actually sounded kind of creepy, right, son?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is my son, Austin. Hey.
Hello.
I almost said, hey, everybody, but hey, you. Hello, how are you? Thanks again for tuning into the Pocket Party Podcast. I'm your host, Darren Carter,
The party starter.
And this is my son, Austin Carter, also known as
Us, the bass boss.
Wow. Are you trying to like speak in your lower register?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hey, that was pretty good.
Thank you very much.
How old are you?
I'm 13 and a half years old.
Wow. So you put that half in there again. I like
Thanks.
that. So I wanted to bring him on the podcast and just kind of catch you guys up. It was great. We had a great weekend, man. We had a great weekend. I'm recording this on a Sunday night. He's got school tomorrow. So I pulled him back in. I said, let's do a little podcast. Let's do a little intro. And man, we so in between Los Angeles and up at the farm, we've been going back and forth. And we had a wonderful time up at a little tiny town near tiny compared to Los Angeles, and it was great, man. We went to the mall, and what'd you think of the mall?
It was amazing. Nostalgia.
It was nostalgia. That's the word you kept saying over and over. Nostalgia, nostalgia. Okay, just talk in a regular voice now.
But this is my regular voice.
Okay. Guys, remember that when you were like going through puberty? You'd constantly look at yourself in the mirror and talk, and yeah, this is my new voice. Yes, Oh, yeah. That's cool, right?
Sound like you're trying to do a corpse impression.
A who impression?
Corpse husband.
Who?
He's like this YouTuber with an extremely deep voice.
Oh, well, I'm not trying to do that
You
at all.
go check him out, everyone.
Well, okay, thanks for coming on my podcast to promote weird YouTubers I've never heard of before. Guys, if you could see his smile right now, the big braces. I mean, imagine that. You're being 13, you get to go on your dad's podcast and promote other YouTubers. You do that a lot. He'll show me a video, and I'm like, hey, this is pretty good. And then you say,
thank you.
I'm like, dude, that's not you. I'm just saying this is pretty good. Thank you, Dad. Thank you. I'm like, he'll show me a video where the person has like 500 million, like that guy Davey 504. How many subscribers does Davey 504 have?
9.21 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good, dude.
Thank you.
It's not you, dude. It's not you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we had a little nostalgia. We went to the mall. Tell them all about the mall. How was the mall?
It was really great. Nostalgia.
Nostalgia. There's a lot more people there this time than last time. That was for sure. That made me feel good because, growing up in the 80s and 70s, 80s, and even a little of the 90s. Well, I guess I really grew up in the 70s and 80s, but the mall was a big part of it. And then also being a touring comedian, you do radio in the morning and then you go back, take a quick 2-hour nap or whatever it is. And then you'd always hang out in the mall. And one of the ways that I like to write is I like to walk and talk and get ideas fleshed out. And as I'm doing it, I need visual stimulus. So as I'm at the mall, I'm walking into, different stores. I'm seeing things. I'm just out there. I'm maybe, smelling the mall cookies, the whole thing. And Austin's funny because we would be walking and he'd be like, oh, wait, Dad, wait. And he'd go back and I'd be like, oh, he wants to run into that store real quick to see, because he sees something that caught his eye. But no, it didn't catch his eye. It caught his ear, right?
Yeah.
You'd be like, that's a song. Like, do you remember any of the songs you heard at the mall?
Oh, no. Because I remember this one time. I was hearing Attention by Charlie Puth. You just want attention.
Wow. This weekend you heard that?
Yeah, I just heard like yesterday. And then a bunch of other songs that sound like they're trying to be attention.
Trying to be like Charlie.
That sound like they're trying to be Charlie Puth's song. You just want attention.
Wow, then I tried on a couple of shirts, which was weird because they wouldn't let you into the fitting room. So the lady was like, yeah, just try it on over your regular shirt. And I'm like, all right. And then I was like, all right, I guess this is good. And so that's how we're buying t-shirts now. We're just trying them on our regular clothes and then buying them. So I did that. And And then it was great. Then we so your mom was doing my wife was doing she was doing a bunch of errands, and then we all met up together. And once again, it was like nostalgia. It was like, wow, we haven't done this as a family in a long time. It was great. Like we didn't like this year. You couldn't really go to Disneyland or any of the big theme parks or even the fairs. So it was great though. We went and we started to go to a couple of restaurants, and they're only open at 25%. So the wait was like 35 minutes, and I was like, oh, I'm not really into that. And then we called this other place. It's like a 50s diner, and guess what? It's a much larger restaurant, so they were able to fit us in right. When I called, they go, "Yep, there's no wait list. Come on over." I'm like, "Perfect, we'll be there." And we went there, and it was great. Right when I walked in, they said, "Okay, table for 3. Follow me right this way." And you guys were in the car, and I go, "Oh, great!" So right when you came in, I waved, and you guys came over, and it was awesome, man. We sat down, and that's the thing. When you go to a restaurant, you don't want to just order the same thing you've been eating at home. So we're like, "What can I get? What can I get?" So I didn't know what I wanted. I kind of wanted waffles. I kind of wanted the burger. I didn't know what I wanted. And that's another thing. I used to never wear reading glasses in public, but since the pandemic, I'm like, you know what? People are wearing masks. People are wearing shields. People are wearing things that you would think would be silly and funny, a couple of years ago. I'm like, reading glasses is nothing. And it was weird. It was a discovery I had about myself. I put on my reading glasses, which I kind of, with these particular ones, the ones that I was able to travel with, you kind of look like Benjamin Franklin. Like they kind of hang on the edge of your nose, and they're like wire rim. But I'm like, you know what? At least I can see the menu with comfort without straining my eyes. And I looked around, and nobody cares. Nobody's looking to see if you're wearing reading glasses. Who gives a, right? It was wonderful. My wife got chicken
They're
fries.
mostly looking at the mouth.
Yeah, they're mostly looking at the mouth.
Yeah, to see if anyone's wearing a mask or not.
Oh, that's true. People did you notice that people stared more this weekend or no? Or you didn't? Did you notice or no?
Kind of. I kind of noticed.
Yeah, I don't think they would stare. Not stare, but they would be like. I know what you're saying. Like that moment of, I was like, wow, we're all looking at each other's naked faces, going, whoa, people aren't wearing masks, and that's okay. They're far away, and this is the way things used to be, and it was interesting. So. My wife had chicken fried steak. She ordered chicken fried steak, mashed potatoes, mixed vegetables. I went with the cheeseburger. I said, you know what? Let me get the cheeseburger and salad. Yes, that way salad's good for you and the cheeseburger. And then the waitress came back and she's like, I'm sorry, they made a mistake. And they ended up giving me a cheeseburger, fries, which I didn't want, but they gave them to me. And then she goes, your salad's on its way. and so, I'm not very disciplined when it comes to stuff like that. So I was like, ketchup and fries and a cheeseburger? Are you kidding me? I went for it. And also had the cheeseburger. What did I say? The cheeseburger, the salad, the fries. And what did you order, Austin?
I ordered basically just some chicken strips and some fries.
Yeah, chicken strips and some fries. And how were the chicken strips?
It was so delicious.
It was delicious.
It was so nostalgic because I remember tasting that like a lot in 2019. Maybe sometimes in early 2020, but mostly 2019 and earlier.
Wow. And then we're sitting there, we're having a good conversation. No one's on their phone. We're just communicating.
And I also had some fries as well.
You did, huh? And I remember that I had that moment where, do you remember that when I held your hand, I held Mom's hand, and we had like a prayer circle type of thing, and it just. I wanna hold your hand. Oh, you know that song?
Yeah.
Can you play it on the bass? Acoustic bass? Let's see what you got.
Oh, please say to me, I'll really be your man. Oh, please say to me, let me be your man. Nice. Oh, let me be your man. I wanna hold your hand.
I know he's gonna go down there because he's Oz the bass boss. Yeah. Anyway, so I remember I just had that moment where I was like, man, I just want to take this all in. You know what I mean? Just take this all in. This moment, being together. And there was some music playing on do you remember the music that was playing in the restaurant?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, there was what song was it that caught your attention first? Do you remember?
I don't remember, but however, I do remember that I actually chose at least 3 songs on the jukebox.
Oh, I'm gonna describe what that is because I asked the waitress. I said because I saw there was a jukebox, and then you were like, "How do you work a jukebox? How does a jukebox work? How does it? Have you ever seen a jukebox?"
Yes, I have.
Oh, you have? Okay.
Yes,
But
I've seen it in movies.
I guess it's one thing if you see it in a movie, but to actually operate a
Yeah,
jukebox.
but I think I've actually seen it in real life. I'm not sure. Maybe just toy versions.
So the lady, she said something like, "What do you remember what she said?" She goes, "I think it's like $1. You could choose 4 songs, $5. You get 25 songs or whatever." And you went over there and you chose 3 songs?
Yeah, I chose all of them were Neil Sedaka songs. So first I chose Calendar Girl. Then I chose Break You Up Hard to Do. And then I chose his Happy Birthday Sweet 16.
That's good.
Yeah. And believe it or not, before that, I was actually planning to rickroll everyone, but
You're gonna rickroll everybody with Rick Astley.
yeah. But however, I think they only held 60s and 70s music.
What was the 4th song? You didn't have a 4th song, or you did?
And then I accidentally chose Break Up's Hard to Do again, so I chose that one again.
Oh, that's funny. Hey, by the way, Neil Sedaka does 2 versions of Break It Up Is Hard to Do. Can you give us just a little sample? Give us the original Break It Up Is Hard to Do if you know how to. I think you know how to play that. Just give us maybe like 30 seconds of it.
Right. Down doobie doo down down, comma down doobie doo down down, comma down doobie doo down down. Breaking up is hard to do. Then you got, you tell me that you're leaving.
Is this the slow version?
Yeah.
You have this, and then he has the fast version.
Yeah.
And then he re-recorded it, the slow version. And I think you did it on your YouTube channel.
Yes,
right?
that was in fact
on the keyboard though.
In fact, that was my first video ever.
Wow.
So if you want to go check out the full version, you can.
Show us a little bit of that slow version of Breaking Up Is Hard to Do.
I can because
you can?
I played that on piano, not bass.
Oh, I see.
I'll try.
Or at least sing it. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to just sing it.
Okay.
You tell me that you're leaving. I can't believe it's true. And girl, there's just no living without you. And don't take your love away from me.
Should I beatbox?
Yeah. Don't you leave my heart in misery. 'Cause if you go, then I'll be blue. 'Cause breaking up is hard to do. Remember when you held me tight.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's good. Thank you. Yay.
Okay. Sorry if I annoyed y'all, but I hope I didn't.
No, you didn't annoy anybody. So that was great. So you got your Neil. But let me ask you a question. So you're a 13-and-a-half-year-old boy. How did you get into Neil Sedaka? That guy, by the way, he sold like 60 million records between 1958 and 1963. He went on and recorded with Elton John. How did you first, what drew you to the Neil Sedaka catalog of music and everything? What got you into Neil?
All right. So once upon a time, it all takes back to 2019. So once upon a time, my family and I were going to go to the Saban Theater to see Rick Springfield. And then we also discovered on that same night that Neil Sedaka was going to be in there. And so since we already knew who Neil Sedaka was and we already loved his music, we decided to go there exactly the very next week. So yeah. So we listened to Rick Springfield. That was very awesome, by the way. Shout out to Rick Springfield.
Shout out to Rick. We know you're listening. Jesse's girl. Yeah, because I remember we saw Neil Sedaka at the Ventura County Fair.
And don't talk to strangers.
Yeah, don't talk strangers. So I know we saw Neil Sedaka in concert, but you liked his music before that. You saw him in concert, the Saban. Now you actually got to meet Neil Sedaka. Where was that at? Was that the Saban or somewhere else?
I'm getting to that right now.
Okay, sorry.
And so then, the very next week, we were listening to Neil Sedaka, and gosh, his music was just it was just so relaxing. I just got so interested into listening to more of his music. And one song led to another one led to another one. And then I was on a whole Neil journey, and I just became his biggest fan. Not exactly, but, I became a huge fan of him. And then, fast forward a couple months later to September 2019. The 21st night of September. Literally.
Literally, you're right. Literally, you guys went and saw him
Yeah.
September 21st. Because I remember your mom, my wife, she wrote a letter, and then it made it. She made it happen, and it was great. You got to meet Neil Sedaka.
Yeah, so guess what?
Yes.
So this all happened at the Cerritos Art Center, I believe. And so then I met Neil Sedaka, and then he told me that he actually read the email that my mom sent.
Wow.
And to his manager and stuff.
That's so cool. That's cool. You dressed up too, huh? You dressed
Yeah.
up. At that time, how old were you at that time? 11?
I was 11. I was actually gonna turn 12 in like 5 days from that time.
Wow. I remember you dressed up. You look really nice.
Yeah, and
you had a tie with the piano keyboard on the tie.
Yeah, and he literally just asked me, hey Austin, what is your favorite type of music? And I told him, I just simply calmly told him, I love the 50s and 60s music. And he said, marvelous.
And did you call him Mr. Sedaka?
Yes, and then at the end, like right when he was about to start the show, he said, you can call me Neil. You can call me Neil.
That's so cool.
Voice like higher than that.
Yeah, and then when we were eating yesterday, as you were listening to the music, do you remember what you said? You did a little rhyme. You go, hey, I'm having a
meal while listening to Neil. I'm having a meal while listening to Neil.
You didn't. You just. Now you're Neil. Have a meal. I wonder if Neil's ever done that during his career. Like win a dinner with Neil. Have a meal with Neil. Backstage VIP. You know.
That's actually a great idea.
That's a good idea, right? You could be the head of his fan club. You know.
In fact, I'm actually working on this project where I'm gonna try to get Neil in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm actually gonna write an original song convincing the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame into getting Neil finally into the Hall of Fame and stuff before he dies and stuff. Because I want Neil Sedaka to have that experience of being in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
That's great.
Because he's been waiting for that moment for all of his life.
Him and his partner, they would write. He has a writing partner, and he has so many great songs.
And plus, I actually was doing some research like a couple weeks ago to see the requirements on being in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And pretty much, he's actually met all the requirements like decades ago, and they still haven't let him in.
What are some of the requirements to get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
You have to have like a very big hit from at least 20. You have to have your first hit from like 25 days ago.
25 years ago.
Sorry, 25 years ago I meant. Or something like that. Or like your biggest hit from 25 years ago. Or something
so basically you have to have a hit, and then 25 years has to pass.
Yeah, and his first hit was like in 1957. Now it's 2021, and he still hasn't got his little thing yet. And so,
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the little thing.
yeah, and so then I found another video from someone named Joseph Van Gorp where they had all the proof you need on why Neil Sedaka should be in the fame. It's in the description. You should go check it out. It's called Neil Sedaka is a Rock and Roll Star.
Do you have any idea what his number one hit was, his first big hit in 1957?
I believe it was The Diary. And I think his first hit ever was Stupid Cupid, and he gave it to like almost everyone.
Stupid Cupid, do 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 do.
Boom, 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 boom. Stupid Cupid, you're a real mean guy. Boom, 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 boom.
You know what song that you helped me discover is a song? It's called Rainy Day Bells. I love I never heard of that song, and then you started playing it and you started singing it. And can you play it on this acoustic bass? Rainy Day Bells. Is this what you normally play it on? Let's see what you guys got to hear a little bit of this. This is Rainy Day Bells, Neil Sedaka, done by Oz the Bass Boss. Just spontaneous. He didn't work on this or practice, but I love this. Just do a little bit of this Rainy Day Bells. Here we go.
Do the patter, rainy day bells. 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 Hey little girl, come to your window and hear the music. Sing you a sweet song. Don't let the rain make you unhappy. In just a moment, we're gonna be walking in the sun. Little bit clouds
will cheer up and go to smile and clear up when they hear those rainy day bells. Ba ba ba, ba ba ba. Oh yeah. Ba ba ba.
I love that.
Ba ba.
I was like trying to sing. I don't want to ruin your song. You're funny, man.
Excuse me for the high notes, but
That's okay. That's good, man. Yay!
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That's a little bit.
That's
That's right. You know, I was just going to have you on the intro, but this is fascinating. I think this is going to be its own little mini episode. How you like that?
I love that, Dad.
That's great. Okay, so you heard some music. We wrapped it up. We left the diner. Oh, by the way, let me ask you. Back at the Neil Sedaka, what was that experience like? You're backstage. You're dressed nice. You're in a room. There's very few people back there. I think you got to tell everybody about the job offer you got.
All right, so let's rewind back before I met Neil Sedaka on the stuff.
Rewind.
From my friends.
Rewind.
Right. So I was just waiting in line, casually just waiting in line, and so then this one LA court judge actually offered me a job and stuff to play piano at her house, and so, I got offered the job. We exchanged phone numbers just for business purposes.
Yeah.
Isn't,
That's cool. And just because your love of Neil and the way you were dressed, and you told her about
I was wearing a piano necktie.
and you told her that you play music, and
Yeah.
that's cool. So I think from what I heard, because I was on the road that weekend, I didn't get to go. I was at Lake Tahoe. I got back, and she said she has house parties, and she would gladly hire you to play some music for the little house party, I guess, right?
Yes.
That's cool. And and we're not going to say it now, but I remember you were so excited that when your mom and you guys picked me up, she was my wife was telling me all about this, and he was like, "Yeah, I remember." And then you recited the phone number. It was hilarious. Don't say it on the air, but
I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna give any personal information away.
But I remember
I'm not a creepy stalker.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, blah blah blah, and you said her name, and then you said area code, blah blah blah, da, da, da. I was like, wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I still remember it. I'm not gonna recite it. Don't worry.
Okay, cool. We don't want any other bass players out there trying to take his gig. Maybe Rick Springfield's listening. No, we love you, Rick.
Yeah, we love you, Rick. We love you, Neil. We love you, everyone.
By the way, Rick Springfield brought you on stage. Do you remember that?
Yeah, when I was like 3.5 years old. So this is probably like 10 years ago. He actually brought me up like a whole decade ago. So he brought me up stage, and so he went to you and Mom, and he went up to me and said, "Hey, handsome." As in referring to me. He's not talking about my mom. He's not talking about Dad. He's talking about me. He went up to me, a 3.5-year-old boy.
It was adorable.
Hey,
When he brought you, he goes, "Hey, handsome!" Like that was adorable. It was so cool. Yeah. And actually, I think the song was "Don't Talk to Strangers."
Yeah.
Right?
And,
Baby, don't.
And so I started mumbling the lyrics. I wasn't really able to say anything, so I thought I was saying, "Don't talk to Elvis and don't talk to firemen." But now I'm looking at the footage again. I don't think I was saying that at all. I was saying gibberish. And then I was jumping around on stage, and this whole band was playing, and I thought that one bass was a guitar and stuff. It was just crazy. And I was about to go to the backstage, even though it didn't.
You're 3.5. That's crazy.
Yeah,
wow. Was that exciting? Were you nervous? You weren't even nervous back then, huh?
I don't think so. I was just so excited that there was like a whole entire crowd watching me.
I know, the whole stadium is great. Baby, don't talk.
Talk to strangers.
That was so cool.
Baby, don't you talk.
So after any more Neil Sedaka stories, or I think that's it. You're gonna try to get him to the Hall of Fame. You've worked on a little bit of the song. Do you want to play a little bit of the melody, or no? You don't want to do that?
I'm not going to reveal it. But however, if you want to know, if you want to hear me sing my song, try to get him in the fame.
The Hall of Fame.
The Hall of Fame.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Not self-promoting or anything, but be sure to go check out my channel, Os the Bass Boss, because I'm going to premiere it and stuff.
That's cool. I like what was I going to ask you? Okay, so we finished dinner. Our lunch. We go back to the mall, and in the mall parking lot, they have a carnival. You guys.
Yes, really quick.
Yes.
Back to the Neil Sedaka thing. So actually, before I'm gonna do my original song, So step one to the process is that I'm actually going to do a Neil Sedaka medley.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I can actually.
Oh, you wanna try
show
it?
Yeah, so I could actually show everyone and that Neil Sedaka does have a lot of hit songs,
Absolutely.
and I haven't actually worked on the arrangement yet.
You have?
Actually, I mean, like I had the list, but it's not with me right now.
Oh, nice. Okay, so let's. I love it, man. I love your passion for like a musician who got you. Neil Sedaka, man, great guy. He's been doing these lives, throughout the pandemic, and he'll do like 3 songs a day.
He has these things called mini concerts. His 3 songs a day, and here's the great thing about it: it really is like a concert. There aren't any edits at all; just completely raw, unedited footage. And no hate towards that, because I absolutely love it. Because it's actually great to see natural footage.
Yeah, because a lot of times, in fact, you have a funny line. Remember one time I go, Austin, you should practice. Practice makes perfect. Practice makes perfect. And do you remember what you said? You go, practice doesn't make perfect.
Editing does.
Exactly. And you're not wrong.
Yeah,
Because editing does make perfect.
So I showed my parents some Davey 504 Mystery Guitar Man videos and stuff.
Yeah.
Where they literally edited their song note for note.
Oh, it's funny. Okay, so I want to wrap up the diner. We go to this little carnival, and it's something that normally you'd see a carnival at like a grocery store parking lot or a mall parking lot, and I never really stopped at those things. But this was once again nostalgia, right? We parked. It was amazing. It was like a super shrunk down version of Disneyland. Like you didn't have to pay an admission or nothing. You just walk in, buy the carnival tickets. I'm a scaredy cat. So you and your mom went on a ride. Do you remember the first ride you went on?
Right. Oh yeah, it was this thing called the American Warrior. So it wasn't really a ride, but it was like some kind of obstacle course.
Oh yeah, because
not American Ninja Warrior, just called American Warrior or America Warrior.
Yeah, I was like, I go, hey, look, American Ninja Warrior, and you go, actually, Dad, and you go, it just says American Warrior. They don't have. I go, there's no ninjas here, and I go, that's basically. That's like come on, what do I call it again? Like a COVID petri dish? Because it was like, I was like, oh man, everyone's going to be touching all those rails and netting and this and that. But you know what though? Nothing sticks to the surface, and we washed our hands in between, and it was awesome. Actually, everybody looked like a ninja only because they had the masks on, which is hilarious. So then after the ninja ride, or the American Warrior ride, you and your mom, you get in line, and you go on. Do you remember?
The Ferris wheel.
The Ferris wheel. And once again, I didn't want to go on it, so I stood in the shade.
And I swear, literally, like right when the ride began, I literally thought that I was gonna get injured or dead or something like that.
Why?
I knew that the ride was pretty. Because I knew that they just probably set it up like right just
I see.
an hour
Like-
ago, and they just stopped it like all of a sudden.
Like a rinky-dink type thing. It was just like,
Yeah.
it was weird when you guys were on there. I looked down, I'm like, hey, that looks like some loose parts on the ground. Like there was I saw some nuts and bolts, but they might have just been left over.
Yeah,
from
and so
something
then
else.
I started spinning around. The more time spinning around, the more I was having fun.
Oh yeah,
And I
because the wind was blowing a little bit, and see what would happen is the Ferris wheel would go around a couple times, and then it would just stop because they'd let people on. But you guys probably didn't realize
and
that.
so usually, sometimes when I'm on those crazy rides, I usually end up singing a song. So a song "Lose Yourself" by Eminem and stuff.
Oh yeah, lose yourself in the moment.
Lose yourself in the music, you want it, and never let it go. You only get one shot to not miss your chance to go. Opportunity post in a lifetime. Just go save it. Okay, I don't want to get copyright claims.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we don't want you guys coming after us. So that was great. So you got off that ride, and then I remember I took some photos. I think I put it on my Instagram real quick. Official Darren Carter. It was in the Insta stories. And I look up, and your mom was like, "We're over here now." And then the next ride you went on was called Ripcord.
Oh, by the way, speaking of my dad's Instagram, be sure to go follow him. He's about to reach 10,000 followers.
Oh, I hope so. And he's Oz the bass boss. You know that. So you're like, we're on Ripcord. And that thing, it goes, you get on the ride. It's an outdoor type thing. You guys are all, there's like 4 across, and it goes straight up about, how many stories high do you think that thing goes, if you were to guess? If you were to compare it to a building?
I don't know, but it pretty much went like almost as high or maybe even higher than the whole entire strip mall area, I think you would call it.
So to me, it looked like it was like 6 stories high. I don't know. It was really high.
I thought, like, right when we got to the high of a building, I thought to myself, okay, I think we've gotten high enough. But then it started going high, like, oh my God, well, why is it going so high? And then it just stopped like that. And then all of a sudden, it didn't stop or anything. It just started up like, ah!
It just dropped. It went, and then.
And here's the crazy thing.
Yeah.
It was, the little seatbelts weren't that stable, so I actually had to hold on. All they had was a seatbelt thing. So we went, ah! And my legs are literally flying up.
Did your butt and everything go up out of the seat?
Kind of, but not really. Except
Wow.
that this thing was really stable and stuff.
Wow. Was it as high as the Glendale Galleria elevator parking garage? That's pretty high. Did it seem like
I
that?
don't know. Maybe. I wasn't able to measure it.
And then you guys went on a double Ferris wheel, and I was like, oh my gosh. And that was like, man,
Yeah. Yeah, and so I sung a song on that. Like,
What did you do on that one?
So on that one, I discovered I made some kind of theory.
Tell us.
This might sound crazy to y'all, but fairs and carnivals can actually higher the pitch of your voice. I know, right? Sounds pretty crazy, but then I started singing a song called Levitate by Dua Lipa.
By what you're mumbling?
Dua Lipa.
What is
featuring
it?
the
Say it again.
baby.
Say it again.
You know what?
Levitate by who?
Levitating
Levitating.
by Dua Lipa.
Dewey?
Featuring the baby.
Dewey Leaper featuring the baby.
Lipa.
Dude, I'm so old now. I have no idea. I know easy groups like Duran, Prince, Michael Jackson, George Michael. And then you also say it with an English accent.
And
so
then
was
I
like,
realized that,
yeah.
and this one part, I realized that I was singing the song like 2 octaves and 2 semitones higher.
Then you normally can on the ground. So on
Yeah.
the earth, you sing one way, but then when you're on a scary ride, your voice
And
goes.
the faster, and the faster the ride had the higher I sung, because I realized that the ride was going slower, and I started singing like 1 octave lower and 2 octaves lower than the original, because it's really in B minor.
Listen, you just came onto something. Maybe I won't release this podcast. See, that'll be your secret recording session. Like, I believe the Beach Boys, they would record in his bedroom. These different people go to these recording studios. You can record on roller coasters and scary carnival rides in small towns, right? Right? Yeah! That'll be your thing. They'll be like, how did you hit those notes? You'd be like, get Neil Sedaka in the Hall of Fame.
Get Neil Sedaka in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, wow. Okay, it's hurting right here.
Sorry.
Okay, buddy. All right. Well, listen, I want to thank you for coming on the Pocket Party podcast. And I always ask the guests this. Do you have any words of wisdom? Anything you'd like to
All right.
tell our listeners?
Here's my words of wisdom. You may have heard this before, but I have some other stuff. But it's going to sound more inspiring.
Okay. I'm into it.
All right. Once again, as my dad said in the beginning, it's not just to everyone. It's to one-on-one. So I'm talking to you, listener. I'm never going to give you up. I'm never going to let you down. I'm never going to run around and desert you. I'm never going to make you cry. I'm never going to say goodbye. And I'm never going to tell a lie and hurt you. Because you know that you should never give up. Because you should never give up on what you love. Because Rick Astley is actually teach you something with that lyric.
You know what?
Don't give up, because you want to keep chasing for your dreams. No matter how bad you think you're failing, just keep going. And just don't stop.
That's right.
As Freddie Mercury said, or Queen, don't stop me now. You're telling your failures to don't stop them.
Don't stop me now, because I'm having a good time.
And Rick Astley said, do not let your dreams down. Never going to let you down. And you is as referring to your dreams. Don't let your dreams down. And don't run around and desert them. Like you're probably thinking of something else. You think of one idea, right? Then you probably think of another idea. So don't desert that idea. Focus on that one idea you were thinking of for that whole time, and just focus on it. And the more you focus on it, the more you're going to be better at it. The more you're going to be better at it, you're going to be a pro.
That's true. That's good, Austin. That was really good. You know what's funny is...
We're done with this interview.
Not that. Didn't mean to push that button. That was you when you were 10. Hold
We're
on.
done with this interview.
No, what I was going to say is the thing with Rick. I almost said Rick Springfield. With Rick Astley, you know, I remember I asked you, "Hey, any words of wisdom?" And about a couple months ago, you said that, and I didn't know what you were doing at first. And then I was like, "Oh, it's funny. You like Rick rolled me on my own Pocket Party podcast." But I like what you just said. Those words are kind of like inspirational, right? Never gonna give you up.
A couple months ago, I was just saying that as a Rick roll just to be funny.
Yeah,
A little bit
But now you mean it.
trollish. But then when I was looking back at that, I realized there's actually some kind of meaning in it. Because I started repeating the words, It was like a motivational speech, like something coming from Darren or Tony Robbins, some kind of motivational speaker, like Prince EA, like one of those people.
Or Nas Daily. Nas Daily is another guy that you've got me into, and it's really interesting, the power of the mind. I got to tell you guys a real quick story before we go. I may have mentioned this before, but the man himself is right here. So March 14th, if you look at, they call it 314. It's a third, 3 point, and that's also Pi Day. It's big in math. They go, hey, it's Pi Day 3.14, and it is school. Pre-pandemic, they said if you can memorize 20 digits, because it goes on, I guess, to infinity or whatever. If you can memorize 20 digits, like 3.14159, well, if you can memorize 20 digits, you get to throw a pie in your teacher's face, right?
Yes.
So you're like, interesting. So how many digits did you memorize that day?
All right, so the record was 300 digits, and so then I beat it by 100 digits. So that means I did 400 digits of pi. I didn't use any cheat codes
But that day you memorized. You got the 20 digits memorized that first day. Am I right?
Actually, it was 56 digits. Actually, I'm not exactly sure because I think around that time I was actually counting the 3-point part.
Yeah.
So it was really like 55 digits or something like that.
That's cool.
Not exactly sure, but it was like around there.
That's great. Can you memorize? Can you do like 10 right now? 3.1.
3.1 for 159265358979222.
Slow down.
8 4 6 2.
Try it one more time. Try just do 20 digits.
3.1415926535389793223846264338237950284171.
Okay, we get.
I just got so Eminem with
I know.
5 digits.
What's funny is people when you tell people, I think that they're kind of impressed for a little bit, and then they just get a glazed look on their face because there's no way to tell if this is really the numbers or not, right?
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Back in my 6th grade class.
Yeah.
So my teacher actually had all the 400 digits of pi up on the board, and I actually had to face the same exact direction of that little screen so I couldn't, cheat and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole entire class was staring at me, and so I closed my eyes just so I can concentrate. And boy, I sure did get all the digits right. And the only time so I decided to open my eyes for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I saw a shocked face because they're pretty shocked. So then I just kept closing my eyes as I was reciting the digits, and then I said, and I'm done. And then, cringe alert, I actually dabbed at the end.
You dabbed, and then
Because that was my favorite thing to do.
what do the students do when you finish the?
They were clapping. And by the way,
Yeah.
right before I actually started reciting the digits, I actually took my jacket off, and so I could show my pie shirt and stuff.
Oh yeah, because you had a shirt that had like the pie symbol on it, I think.
Yes. And it was like doing the floss.
Wow, that's right. The floss was popular back then. Doing the dab dance.
Actually, the dad was actually like dead from like 3 years ago from that time. And I just got so into it that I just ended up doing like 2 or 3 years after that.
That's cool. That was cool. Austin, listen, I'm gonna let you get back to what you were doing, and I want to thank you for coming on. I know I was just gonna have you on for about 5-10
You're
minutes
welcome.
for the intro, but it went so well. I really enjoyed this.
Thank you so much
episode.
for actually letting me have me on your show. I really do
thank
appreciate
you. You're
it.
always on the show. You did the theme song, and people covered the theme song.
Yes.
You do the sound at the end. We're done with this interview.
We're
Shout
done
out
with
to
this interview.
shout out to Curtis, Martian, Jay, and Seti, and everyone else who decided to cover my song. I appreciate it.
That's so good. Yes, it is. And then the guys that did the originals, thank you to those guys. The college kids, I don't know their names. They just sent it in blindly. Pocket Party Podcast. It's my favorite podcast.
The party. Wait, really quick. I'm gonna
Shout out to the Miguel Romero.
Pocket Party Podcast. It's my favorite podcast. The Party Podcast. It's my favorite. I'm just going by what the people said.
I know. I think they said the party. I think they called it party, but
Yeah.
anyways. But it's been a real treat to have you on the show, and I'm looking forward to your channel growing, YouTube,
Thanks.
Austin the Bass Boss, and thanks guys for listening. Thank you very much for letting us
Thanks.
entertain you on your commute or on the treadmill, and that's about it, right? You got one more thing?
Yeah, one more thing.
Yeah.
By the way, hey, whoever is listening to this, please get my dad to 3,000 subscribers on YouTube.
You're so nice. Thank you.
Thanks.
And, I know we're asking you guys to do a lot, but just share your favorite couple of episodes on YouTube, your favorite YouTube episodes. And
And when I reach 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to reveal my lowest singing note. Because what I did earlier, that wasn't my lowest note. I can go much lower than that.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to beat the world record, which is not by Tim Storms. No. By the way, if you want to know who the lowest singer is, go check out my bass medley video. It actually says it in there.
Wow, that's cool.
Not to self-promote or anything. But
It's just self-promote. Dude, if you're not, this is the place to self-promote your dad's podcast. yeah, this is the
I just
place
don't want.
to do it.
I just don't want the audience to get too annoyed about my
yeah.
self-promotion.
That's okay. You're the best, kid.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Look how polite this young man is. What a treat. By the way, do you still have that number? I think I want to do that gig at that judge's apartment or whatever, that house.
I don't know.
I was just joking.
I'd probably go check my phone.
I was just joking, dude. I'm taking gigs for my son. Hey, I want to open for you when you make it big, okay? Give me a high five. Love you, buddy.
Love you too, Dad.
You guys, that's the end of the show. Have a great day. Don't hurt nobody. Be careful. And that's about it. We'll see you soon.
Have a great day, everyone.
That's right. If you want to hire me on Cameo, go to cameo.com. I'm on there. Official Darren Carter.
And my dad just created a new TikTok account.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm on TikTok.
He's more than halfway to 100 followers.
Yeah,
be sure to follow.
Yeah, I'm on TikTok. I'm having a ball on there. All right, guys, that's it. Have a great day.
Have a
Don't
nice
hurt
day,
nobody. Be careful.
Bucket party.
At DarrenCarter.com, I accept PayPal donations. Every little bit helps help grow the show. Also, if you're more into Venmo, go to Venmo. And I'm on Venmo. I'm at Darren Carter Comic on Venmo. At Darren Carter Comic on Venmo. Like I said, thank you for your support. It really means a lot. Help grow the show. And have a great day. Don't hurt nobody. Thank you.
Everybody listen to Darren Carter. We all know he's the party starter. So if you want to listen to a podcast for free, then listen to The Pocket Party.